William, what a year 2024 has been.
Oh my goodness, Stephanie. I can't tell you. I don't have to tell you. You were there.
We've done everything. We have done everything. We thought we were slowing down in 2023, and then before you know it, 2024
Bam.
set up, and we were doing all kinds of stuff in 2024. You have to
Yeah.
tell everybody what we have been doing.
Oh my goodness. So we started the year, as we start each year, by saying, all right, let's take a look back, see what worked, what didn't work. What are we trying to do? Are we still on a right track of growth and whatever? So I had to write it down, all the things that we did, and started with doing a lot of recordings.
Yes.
Right. Previous to that, we weren't doing very much recording, but we really did a lot in terms of filming 3D printing and doing Finance Friday and what's in my bag. And so we were just trying to get into the rhythm of recording longer form videos, just like we're doing now.
Yep.
So that was probably one of the bigger things. It took up time. Of course, we did still some podcasts, being a podcast guest. And then by the end, we actually started our own podcast.
Your own podcast. That's right.
And that was exciting. It's on Spotify, and we've actually had people listen in and all that sort of stuff. And we want to do more of that. So one question I have for you, though, is when we started the whole video production thing, it's like neither one of us had any experience doing video, the production and us editing it and all that sort of stuff.
None
You took the load. How was it for you?
It was such a learning curve, but I had fun doing it the whole time. So I started off in one program, and then you would send me different programs to try out, and I get those, and then it just exploded into something completely different, and I enjoy doing it now. And I was like, when are we recording the next podcast? When are we doing another one?
So what tools do you use now?
So right now we use Descript, CapCut, and Canva. And those three are the highlights of everything that we do. We also use Riverside for when we're recording. And we didn't have no idea how it would work out for us. And it's been amazing. We now have like a seamless operation. You know how to do things. I know how to do things. Even when we discuss, we say, okay, this is how we're going to edit it in any one of the platforms that we're using. And it works out perfectly.
Yeah, I had a goal for this year where I wanted to learn DaVinci Resolve because it seems like a really good editing program. Oh my gosh, what a learning curve. What I did was I enlisted my 11-year-old son and said, here, learn this, and then you can teach me. And he just took to a duck to water. He's just trying stuff out. And you throw your video on here. Here's how you do some crossfades and dissolves. And here's how you add some music. So I'm going to turn to him and use him as my chat GPT.
Yes, our little AI.
And my little AI. Teach me.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so that was a bunch of what we did. And then the summer started out with me having an interaction with the guy, Stuart Lundy. And he's a quadriplegic living in Denver. And this was part of we met because we were interacting with this XRI community, this set of up and coming mixed reality programmers in Africa. And Stuart was one of the mentors like myself. And I saw his experience and I thought, wow, Stuart, you need an Apple Vision Pro goggles. So I had purchased a set myself. So that was part of the thing that happened in February. And we went down to Denver and got Stuart a set of goggles and slapped him on his face. And from then on, he's just been like, William, this has changed my life. So that was a dramatic thing, an eye-opener. It's like technology that you and I might just experience as a form of better entertainment. I get to see videos and it's so immersive. Completely changes his life. He can now do things that he could not do as easily before, like sending email by himself, using voice and eye input. So that was a dramatic learning. What else happened over the summer? We built several machines. There was the CNC router. There's the robot arm, which is still over there. Because we had this notion of manufacturing at the speed of thought that we're pursuing.
Remember the
And
3D printer? We did
yeah,
a whole segment on 3D printing.
yeah, we talked about 3D printers, and the whole goal there for me was let's sink artificial intelligence down into tiny machines as much as possible so that they get smarter, so the human operators is more approachable by more humans. That's the whole goal, is to be able to empower the bottom of the pyramid, if you will, to get into things like the means of production,
Yes.
because that's a means of wealth production, right? So if you can produce goods, you can sell goods and make money. And it doesn't require tens of thousands of dollars of investment to do it. So that's what we got into. What else? What else happened?
Oh, we had your software. Let's talk about that. Your
Yeah,
SVG
so
and me, the series that we did throughout the year.
yeah, so we started a year ago doing SVG, and this year revisited this SVG, Scalable Vector Graphics. I don't know why, but I just keep coming back. There's like a horse to that water trough. And it turns out that being able to do scalable vector graphics, it's a really easy graphics format. We now have a tool that's really fast, really small, really easy and approachable. Other people are now starting to use this tool. So anything related to putting graphics on the screen, we now have a library that's just really killer, to the point where pretty good graphics programmers are looking at it and using it for their own things. They're like, yeah, this is great. So we're going to use that in other forms. Like we created a mapping application that doesn't use anything, doesn't use any Google, no OpenStreetMaps, nothing. It's just on its own. Here's a mapping component for anybody who wants to do maps. You don't have to go and pay lots of money and be beholden to someone like Google or anything like that. And we want to do more software like that, where it's like core components that are just like top of the line. It's not garbage, right? It's not like here's something I hacked together in a weekend. It's like, no, we've been working on this for a year, and it's really good, and it's evolving, and now people are using it, so it'll evolve more and we'll create more apps. So yeah, we start our software center and start dropping software up there. Here's another one. Here's another one. But yeah, that happened, right?
That was cool, yeah. And then we had a series, Finance Friday. Finance Friday, we started off in January of 2024.
Yeah, so Finance Friday, just trying to help people understand the world of money. It's a subject that is perhaps less talked about, certainly with a lot of our audience, where even people who are well-heeled still don't necessarily understand a lot of the things that we talked about. So we tried to lay it out. This is how money works. And it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's just a way of explaining to people things like asset classes and how money is made and how money is lost and how to invest.
And to think differently about money.
Think differently about money, right?
Generational wealth and what you leave behind. And
and how to do that.
And how to do that. So I really enjoy doing that series as well.
So that series was, I mean, a lot of stuff we do is meant for the everyman.
Yes.
And so you, Stephanie, are the every person, right? How did you like Finance Friday?
It was awesome. So from the first episode when you were talking about opening your own Fidelity investment account and stocks, and we took it and we ran and we went through step by step on how to do that. And I'm still doing it now. I'm still trading, still adding more to my account and opening other accounts. And that's how you do it. That's how you start thinking differently and doing differently with your money.
And we talked a lot about what's the difference between investing and gambling, right? Just don't chase after cryptos and get the rug pulled out from under you. You're just going to lose your money. Here's how you actually invest as opposed to gambling. So that was I thought that was a good series, and I want to do more of that one because things change, right? The world is going to go through dramatic changes this year, I think. So more to come. So yeah, what else did we go over this year? Let me check my
favorite that we did this year was what's in my tech bag. Because you did so much traveling, you were always telling me the different things that you were carrying with you or traveling with for tech. And we continued working, even of course, when you were remote in Saudi Arabia. You told us what you were carrying over your tech bag, Colorado, all the other trips that you took throughout the summer. So one of my favorites was what's in your tech bag. And to this day, I wanted to ask you, which is your number one thing that you now cannot travel without?
Ooh, number one. Okay. I would say there are two things.
Uh-huh.
If I could only take one piece of technology, it would be my Book Air.
Okay.
I also had a tablet that I traveled with at the same time, and I'd bounce back and forth between the two. The MacBook Air would be the number one item I cannot do without as a tech dude, because I can use it for doing all the regular stuff that you can do any computer, getting emails and all that sort of stuff. But probably most importantly, as a programmer, I can program in Mac OS, Windows, and Linux on one device. And there's no other device I can do that on, because the Mac programming you pretty much only do on a Mac. You can do it on a Windows device, but you need a Mac to run it on anyway. And the Mac will run the Windows stuff and the Linux stuff. So that's number one. And number two is this universal charger. It's a small thing. It's like I only brought one charger and then just 4 or 5 different cables for the different devices. So that one universal charger, even forget the extra battery that I bring. But so if there are only two things, it would be the MacBook Air and the universal charger.
And
I must have those.
And you must have those.
Yeah.
And you had a new, let's say, addition over the winter holidays that you did an unboxing for.
Yes. Over there, the little tiny piece of aluminum is the Mac Mini, an M4 Mac Mini. I waited and waited until they came out with that thing, and I got the bare bones minimum one. And it's already more powerful than the desktop machine that I'm using right now to record this. That was in the, okay, let's get small and light. Yes, my MacBook Air is great for travel and all this sort of stuff, but sometimes I want a desktop machine hooked up to big monitors and all that. So the Mac Mini is serving that purpose. And so far, I think I can use that as my daily driver. I'm about to kick this PC to the curb.
Oh, dear.
I know, you're a PC. Since I can run Windows on that thing, I'm not leaving Windows behind. I'm just leaving the big old bulky. I just don't need it anymore. It's like this thing's 5-6 years old. It's just not needed. But one thing I will comment here is that new Mac Mini is like, what, $600? And it's more powerful than this machine that I put together for probably $2,500 5 or 6 years ago. So that tells me the state of compute, right? The cost of compute is so low that you can get serious compute power for $600. That's less than a cell phone.
Yes.
Certain cell phones,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Less than a flagship cell phone, you can get serious compute power. And I think that's going to go further towards enabling more people to do more things, because compute is just cheap. It's not quite free, but it's getting so cheap that you're going to just find computers everywhere.
Everywhere.
Right? We already do. We already carry them in our pockets. But I just mean everywhere. Right? And I think that's going to change the landscape of how our world works.
Speaking of that, so what do you think we have to look forward to in 2025?
Oof, my goodness. So as a focus, I want to focus on our podcast, for one, having more guests, keep that ball rolling, because there's so many people we know or can get connected to that are making all this stuff happen. We still have access to them. So that's one thing. And then the other is producing more of the software, both because I like doing it. I've been programming my whole life, and it's just a hobby I want to continue with. I don't want to leave it behind. Right. And it's so beneficial to just give people code that's seriously good and say, here, start from here. Don't start from scratch. And it's license free. Those are a couple of things. So more podcasting, more videos, more software. I'm going to focus on furthering the hardware, because I really want to pursue this intelligent manufacturing at the speed of thought. Right? Because I think that's a really good vector for getting people from lower part of the economic pyramid into means of production. I think is a really good avenue. So we're going to pursue all that. And we're going to do it from India.
Gonna do it from India.
I'm moving to India.
You
The
are
whole family's
moving
moving to India.
to India. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Look, we have been, that's been just a whirlwind for me. I cannot believe that you are moving to India literally in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, the
And
movers show up next Wednesday, and then another couple weeks after that, we're leaving on a jet plane.
we're
That's
going to
what we
be,
have to look forward to.
and we're still going to be doing it from India. We're still going to be doing it from India. And I look
Yeah.
forward to you being in India and connecting and making more connections with persons that are like-minded, that are into tech. And I can't wait to see what 2025 will bring us.
Yeah, 2024 has been quite a good transition year, a good building year. We've got into a lot more things that we really want to get into. I think 2025 is going to be more of the same, more focus on practical application of doing things and not just talking about things. So I'm excited, and being in that environment in India, it's just a different energy because people are all on the hustle. Everyone's just going after it.
Ready.
Yeah, they're eager, they're energetic, they're malleable, and they just want to like do stuff. More so than you see in certain other places. So I think that's going to generate a lot of new things happening that right now we can't even think about. Right?
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm on
So
a
there we
wave
go.
roller coaster. We're riding the wave, and I love it.
Yeah. So bye-bye 2024 and hello 2025, right?
William, it was amazing catching up with you. It was amazing.
Yeah. So it's been amazing working with you all year, Steph. A couple of 3 years now.
Yes.
Lose track of time. It's like, how long has it been?
Yeah.
So we're going to keep on doing it because things are working.
And I love it.
All right.
We'll catch up again, and maybe next time it'll be India.
I believe so, yeah.
Yes. All right, William. Have a good day.
Okay, bye.